Hello, and welcome to Your Brain Lied. I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to talk about something that's likely impacting all of us, every single day, often without us even realizing it. It's about how the perfectly curated world we see online, particularly on social media, can mess with our sense of connection and what we can do to reclaim real, genuine relationships. Think about it. We're constantly bombarded with images of highlight reels, vacations, amazing achievements, picture-perfect families. And it's all carefully constructed, filtered, and presented in a way that's almost impossible to live up to. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to these digital versions of people, and that can have a real impact on how we feel about our own lives and our own connections. So, how exactly does this curated content distort our sense of connection? Well, let's think about the very nature of relationships. Real relationships are messy. They're full of imperfections, vulnerabilities, awkward moments, and struggles. It's these shared human experiences, the good and the bad, that build trust, empathy, and a feeling of belonging. Now, compare that to the curated online world. What you see are the polished, filtered, and often unrealistic versions of reality. When we constantly consume this type of content, our brains start to create a distorted picture of what normal life and normal relationships should look like. We start to believe that everyone else has it all figured out, that they're constantly happy, successful, and living a perfect life. And if we're not feeling that way, we think there's something wrong with us. It's like watching a movie where everything is flawlessly executed and feeling inadequate because your own life isn't a Hollywood production. The brain loves shortcuts. It's always trying to make sense of the world as quickly as possible. And when it's repeatedly exposed to these idealized images, it starts to internalize them as the norm. It creates a kind of internal yardstick against which we measure ourselves and our relationships. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and a sense that we're somehow failing at life. Think about Sarah, a young professional who spends a lot of time scrolling through Instagram. She sees her friends posting pictures of exotic vacations, fancy dinners, and perfect couple moments. Sarah starts to feel like her own life is boring and unfulfilling in comparison. She works hard, she has good friends, and she enjoys her hobbies, but it doesn't seem as glamorous as what she sees online. Over time, Sarah starts to withdraw from her friends. She feels self-conscious about sharing her own experiences, fearing that they won't measure up to the curated perfection of their online lives. She begins to feel isolated, even though she's constantly connected to people online. She's stuck in a loop of comparing her real life to everyone else's highlight reels. Or consider Mark, who's trying to navigate the world of online dating. He sees profiles filled with carefully chosen photos, witty bios, and descriptions of exciting adventures. He starts to worry that he's not interesting enough, attractive enough, or successful enough to attract a partner. He feels pressure to present a perfect version of himself, rather than being authentic and genuine. This can lead to anxiety, insecurity, and a fear of rejection. The irony is that everyone else is likely feeling the same pressure. They're all trying to present the best version of themselves, creating a collective illusion of perfection. It's like everyone is wearing a mask, and no one is willing to show their true selves. This curated content can also impact our ability to empathize with others. When we only see the positive aspects of someone's life, we may forget that they're also facing challenges and struggles. We might assume that they have it all figured out, and we might be less likely to offer support or understanding. For example, let's say you see a friend posting pictures of their beautiful new house. You might feel envious and assume that they're living a perfect life. But you don't know that they're struggling with a huge mortgage, that they're working long hours to pay the bills, or that they're feeling overwhelmed by the responsibilities of homeownership. If we only see the highlight reel, we miss the opportunity to connect with people on a deeper level, to offer support, and to share our own struggles. We become less empathetic and more judgmental, and that can damage our relationships. The issue really boils down to this. Curated feeds show us what people want us to see, not necessarily who they are. And that difference? The gap between image and reality is where the disconnection begins to grow. So what can we do to reconnect with real relationships in this age of curated content? It's about being mindful, intentional, and proactive in cultivating genuine connections. First, recognize that what you see online is not reality. It's a carefully constructed illusion. Remind yourself that everyone is presenting the best version of themselves, and that no one's life is perfect. Take a step back and ask yourself, is this really a realistic portrayal of someone's life, or am I seeing a highlight reel? It's like realizing that the magician's trick get real, and the world isn't as magical as it looks on the stage. Next, prioritize real-life interactions over online connections. Spend time with people in person, engage in meaningful conversations, and share your own experiences, both the good and the bad. Make an effort to be present and attentive when you're with others, and put away your phone. It's about making the conscious choice to be in the room, not just virtually present. Instead of just liking a friend's post about a new job, call them and ask them how it's really going. Instead of just scrolling through vacation photos, plan a coffee date with someone and hear about the trip firsthand. The good, the bad, and the funny. Be vulnerable and authentic in your own interactions. Share your own struggles, insecurities, and imperfections. Don't be afraid to show your true self, even if it's not always perfect. Vulnerability is the key to building trust and intimacy. It's like showing someone the blueprints of your house, instead of just the polished exterior. When you open yourself up to others, you create space for them to do the same. You signal that it's okay to be imperfect, that it's okay to struggle, and that it's okay to be real. This can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. Also, actively seek out opportunities to connect with people who share your values and interests. Join a club, volunteer for a cause you care about, or take a class. These shared experiences can create a foundation for lasting relationships. It's about finding your tribe, the people who understand you, support you, and accept you for who you are. Another important step is to be more mindful of the content you consume online. Unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate or insecure. Limit your time on social media and be intentional about how you use it. Remember, you have the power to curate your own feed, and you can choose to fill it with content that is uplifting, inspiring, and authentic. It's like weeding your garden, removing the things that are harmful and nurturing the things that help you grow. Practice gratitude for the relationships you already have. Take time to appreciate the people in your life who support you, love you, and accept you for who you are. Express your gratitude to them and let them know how much they mean to you. This can strengthen your existing bonds and create a sense of connection and belonging. And finally, be patient with yourself and with others. Building real relationships takes time, effort, and vulnerability. Don't expect instant results. Be willing to invest in the process and be open to the possibility of connecting with people on a deeper level. The key takeaway here is that the curated world we see online is often an illusion. It's not an accurate reflection of reality, and it can distort our sense of connection. By being mindful, intentional, and proactive, we can reclaim real, genuine relationships and create a sense of belonging in our lives. It's about choosing real connections over virtual perfection. So, how can you apply this to your own life? Here are a couple of things to consider. First, think about the last time you felt a pang of envy or inadequacy while scrolling through social media. What triggered that feeling? And what can you do differently next time to avoid falling into that trap? Second, consider one small step you can take this week to strengthen a real-life relationship. Maybe it's calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, planning a coffee date with a loved one, or simply making an effort to be more present and attentive in your conversations. Cultivating genuine relationships takes effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in the messy, imperfect, and beautiful reality of human connection. Thank you for joining me on Your Brain Lied. I hope this episode has given you some food for thought and some practical tools for reconnecting with real relationships. Remember, you are not alone, and you are worthy of love, connection, and belonging. Until next time, take care of yourself and your brain. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.